Changes in routine. We as adults sometimes struggle with that fact that life is not always so simple and sometimes things are going to change. So if we as adults struggle with that, we know our toddlers, infants, preschoolers, they're going to struggle with that too. So what are some things that you can expect? Tantrums, screaming, fits of crying. I mean, come on guys, we're humans. And those emotional responses are due to fear, stress, anxiety, just like we as adults have those same emotions. So those are fits and screaming are a way a child can communicate with you that they have a need that isn't being met. If we have changes in our routine, then they don't feel that safety and security that they normally do within a normal regulated schedule. So what are we going to do about it? Well, to answer that question, we first kind of need to know what type of change are we dealing with, because that does dictate how you respond, prepare, or react to the situation. So let's talk big changes first. What are some big changes that your children might be experiencing? A change in classrooms, moving from an infant room to a toddler room. Current classroom gets new staff. That can be stressful. I mean, think about meeting new people. Entire room arrangements. I know I get crazy with it at home and I'll say, oh my gosh, I'm rearranging the entire house and I move everything around. But how shocking would that be if I walked into my home and the entire room arrangement was already done for me and I didn't have a choice? Large changes in a schedule. Let's say that day you have a visitor and things are completely flipped upside down. I know you can think of many others, but I don't have quite time for that. So let's talk about some of the smaller changes too. Sometimes we only think that bigger changes are when we need accommodations, but for a child, even something that we deem as small can be very large to them. So maybe an infant that's not used to you being picked up just to be changed and diapered could be a shock to their system. A small change in a schedule or a transition like going outside, giving them a warning so that they know. In addition of new equipment or toys to the room. So let's say you get some wonderful Sixpence items. You might want to introduce them slowly, and there's so on and so forth. So now, how do we take these small and large changes and put together some strategies for our kids?
So let's talk strategies. These strategies may help teach and prepare your children to accept changes. 1. Let them know. Begin by informing your children of the change and mentioning it beforehand if at all possible. Yes, even to babies. Things like, I'm going to pick you up now, or today there are going to be some visitors. If you know ahead of time, you can have a visual of the change, but if you can't, verbal cues are also just still beneficial. 2. Answer any questions that they might have. Because I said so is not teaching them a skill of adapting to change. If they're at the age that they're able to ask, please answer those questions. If they're not verbal yet, anticipate what questions they may have and give a play-by-play to them. 3. Use small steps. If at all possible, try to make changes subtle until they're more comfortable. And an example of this may be spending a short amount of time in one room before they fully transition. 4. One environment is changing, so keep those other environments the same. 5. Be prepared to embrace the change. This may mean tantrums, and you might just have to be there for them, sit with them, and help them regulate. It may mean mood swings and crying for what seems like no reason, but these are age-appropriate things and responses from infants and toddlers. It's okay for them to cry and for you not to say anything and just be near them. 6. Use resources. Please plan ahead. Be proactive rather than reactive. Social stories, picture cards. You yourself are one of the greatest resources to helping them adapt to change. You and your relationships that you've built with these children are more powerful than you could ever know.